Posted up in Granny's crib, bumping ready to die. The ironic thing was that I was ready to die. My ceiling fan is spinning while I lay back and prophesize, listening to the lyrics of the niggas that lies. If you want a piece of my pain, just stare into my eyes. Witness all the tries and struggles lurking in disguise. I always say you're royalty, son, so I'll never hold my tongue until my story is sung among the masses. Spazzing over all this boom bap shit till I cope with problems I'm seeing straight through my glasses. Till the dope I'm selling gets ripped up out of the package. My quotes was getting me through my classes. Never spooked to face the truth. Don't know what a mask is. Burn my fears to ashes so I can reach the next chapter. I manufacture these bars so I can murder rappers. I preach my pain to ease the strain like a muscle relaxer. Dreams is something that ain't easy to reach. Me speaking on my problems doesn't mean that I'm weak. I'm exhaling on my pain, but it don't put me at ease. So I'll keep writing these rhymes until I seek out my peace. Dreams is something that ain't easy to reach. Me speaking on my problems doesn't mean that I'm weak. I'm exhaling on my pain, but it don't put me at ease. So I'll keep writing these rhymes until I seek out my peace. Y'all wasn't there when them rats padded past my feet. Watched the roaches scatter as I shook them shits up on my sheets. I couldn't sleep, life put me at my lowest peak. With no dedication, no inspiration, no will to speak. AC was broken, had to thug it out in summer heat. Mama working every single day so we could fucking eat. All I had was a notepad, some pens and a beat. Better check your pockets, this knowledge I'm kicking isn't cheap. Riding in the hoopty, my older homies would scoop me. Lighting doobies, ashing blunts before we pulled up at the movies. Searching for groovy booties, attempting to get the coochies and neglect all of our fucked up past like it was all some roofies. Avoiding goofies, playing
Yo, was good.
Yo, what's good, my nigga?
That's a good tone setter right there. I honestly, like, I say that a lot. That's a good tone setter. But honestly, like, how else are we gonna kick this shit off, right? We need something that's gonna set the motherfucking tone.
Most definitely.
And what's better than a little bit of pain, right? Always got to kind of get a little honest. That's always a tone setter when people can hear you be transparent. But before we get all into that, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Daniel Emano, the host of this show, Emano Talk, and I am here with the young king himself, SouthSide TeeJay, SSTJ, whatever you want to call him. Put a little respect on his name though, because that boy spitting that fire, bro. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. You know, I'm just had a good day today, nigga. I was just anticipating this for a while now. Ever since you booked me for this interview. So
yeah, it's been a minute, right? I really like went far out. Like I feel like I reached like so far out like ahead of time. I'm just like, all right, you know, January, March, you know, April. Like there's people like
yeah, like literally it's been like we're 2.5 months since you like asked me to be on the show. And then you even I think we even pushed it back one time too. So I was just like, I was just like, you know what, you know, like perfect timing. You know, now is the best time. Honestly, more than anything.
It always works out the way it's got to work out, and I'm happy that you're here right now, bro. We got a lot to talk about, but let's just start it off nice and simple. Tell the people about yourself. Where you from? Who are you? Where'd you come from? When'd you start?
Well, I'm SouthSide TeeJay, also known as SSTJ. That's what the SS stand for. But I was born in Miami, Florida. I'm from Miami, born and raised. Yeah, okay. But basically, ever since I was a kid, I always just moved back and forth between Miami and Broward. That's kind of just like how my family worked. And, you know, grew up in Miami, moved to Broward to move away from the bullshit because, you know, Miami's full of bullshit. You know, not in like a negative way, like, you know, in the way where, you know, I love Miami to death. I'm always going to love Miami to death. But, you know, there's just trial and tribulation that come with living in certain areas and also dealing with certain shit and being around certain people.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, so, you know, and I just grew up on music pretty much. Like literally I was just inspired by so much growing up based off of like, you know, what my mom's was playing me, because she, you know, I pretty much take away from like just a whole bunch of genres, whether it's hip hop, whether it's R&B, metal, you know, old, like just all the way from like now all the way to like even like old shit like Sly and the Family Stone and Bootsy Collins and fucking you know, Parliament era, like shit like that. So it was just like, I feel like whatever I'm attached to as far as like inspiration is concerned, that's just what I listen to.
And those are some heavy names right there. Sly and the Family Stone.
Yeah, Rage Against the Machine, Disturbed, Metallica. Like literally, it's just like whatever my ear like enjoys, that's just what I'm gonna listen to.
Yeah, you just take a little bit of it, and when we go through the music, people are gonna hear you take little bits and pieces of that. But who are your inspirations as far as rap goes? All right, welcome back to Emano Talk. Now, sorry about that, folks. We back now. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty. It seemed like the internet cut out, but that's why you gotta have a backup server. You gotta have a backup Wi-Fi. You always gotta have a backup plan. We ain't ever going out. We back. All right.
Yeah.
But
Taking full effect.
we was talking about your influence on hip hop. You were mentioning how Outkast was a heavy influence upon you. So was Nas. And you were also talking about other genres, but we were trying to specifically hone in on like your rap craft. How did that all begin for you?
Yeah, so Nas, Jay-Z, Outkast, like even like Pharrell with what he was doing in the beginning, you know, even with like NERD and like just branching off, like even with the Neptunes and Clips, you know, like all this just even like it's like a varied amount of hip hop as far as like what that's concerned, like even like Mobb Deep, like all the way from all the grimy shit to like Tribe, like I've pretty much heard it all at this point in my life, like, and specifically growing up with, you know, I ventured out a good amount to listen to a lot of this shit too, because a lot of like I grew up listening to a lot of R&B mainly because I grew up with my mom.
Yeah.
She loves R&B. She loves Mary J. She loves SWV, TLC, Destiny's Child. Like she listens to like all of this, you know, just a varied amount of R&B. But you know, my dad on the other hand, that's where like the Sly and the Family Stone and like all the old shit like that I love, like literally comes from him. Like Mark Morrison and like just he loves funky upbeat shit. So it's just like yeah.
I feel that though, because like for me, like I grew up like around like my uncle and my cousins when it came to music, and like my uncle was like huge on like Hendrix, Sly Family Stone. He loved Sly Family Stone.
Yeah.
Like just a lot of that Woodstock era music. And then my
Grateful
cousins,
Dead.
yeah, Grateful. I'm literally wearing a Grateful Dead shirt under this hoodie right now. I love I've seen them live before. They're great.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like I mean, when it comes to that kind of stuff, like that holds a dear place in my heart too. So like to hear that like you kind of had that like as a piece of influence on your musical style and you know like what you truly enjoy, that's a huge piece, because like it kind of gives you that real idea of like when music was more so about feeling than about material, because I feel like now with hip hop a lot of it has become super material, talking about like
Superficial.
superficial, like with the money that people make, with the things that they buy with the money and all that stuff. And it's just like one of those things that it's like, does it sound cool? Yeah, it's fucking awesome, but
Of course,
is it actually something that like you think people are gonna like be like looking to tune back to like 20 years from now? No, it's like there's a reason like you know your father grew up on this music from the 60s and 70s, right? And you're here born what 90s, early 2000s kind of area, the 90s more so, and that's still music that influences you today. Like that's timeless music,
exactly,
right? Like that's a huge thing that people kind of lost concept on. How do you feel for you it influences you to look to try to make that quality?
I feel like materialism is always going to be something that people are going to be attached to, because that's bro, like from hit records to like literally all the stuff that people are rapping and perpetuating now, that's always going to be popular, because that on the hip hop is the biggest genre in the world. And it's just like, that's just something that people are going to naturally gravitate to because it's appealing physically, and just like, it's never going to go out of style as far as like people wanting to, you know, just internalize that type of lifestyle.
I think hip hop for our generation is what rock and roll was to our parents.
Exactly.
Like, you know, like people are going to look back on hip hop probably 40, 50 years from now, and now there's going to be a whole new genre that we probably don't even know that's coming.
We just don't know yet.
Yeah. And it's going to be like our kids' kids that are going to be like, you know, like this is what I grew up on, like that my dad put me on.
Yeah. But I feel like I've always been just like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I've always internalized my own, you know, my own sense of like just style and like just expression. And I've always wanted to just express myself in the best way that I can, which is what my music is. And I feel like instead of perpetuating something that isn't, you know, me, I'm just going to do me. And I'm literally just going to rap about what I rap about. I'm going to rap how I want to rap. I'm going to make the music that I want to make. And, you know, just I'm going to do the best that I can to make it exactly what I want it to be.
Yeah, I feel like a song like Pain definitely perfectly describes exactly what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with a song like Pain, like although you were transparent, you were able to talk about what you've been through. It feels like you're also doing a lot of storytelling in the sense of like there's like a mystique about like what you're rapping about. Like people almost want to know like, well, like although I got this certain detail, there's another one that you're like, what does he mean by that? I got to figure that out.
Yeah, there's stories, and there's just a lot of just shit to dig up regarding me as a person. Because I feel like I could tell you a whole bunch right now in like an hour or 2 hours of you just communicating with me, but there's just layer after layer after layer. As far as
let's talk about Pain, right? There was like one point that you were like saying like you were like, yo, that was some real shit right there, and you were talking about the part where it was like shaking roaches off my sheets.
Yeah, like, I mean, like literally, like I living in North Miami with literally in like the oldest fucking house possible, because we just had to get our shit together, and literally like holes in the house, and literally just living with fucking roaches and rats, and literally it's just I'm literally taking you to what my fucking struggle is, and that's like literally just like as far as like that's concerned, because there's still way more to what the fuck I want to portray. So it's just like that's just some real shit to me, because that shit literally happened to me. Like 3 a.m. in the morning, I fucking wake up and I fucking see shit crawling all over me. I'm shaking this shit out, and it's just it's so normalized to me.
Yeah, because like, you chuckled about it. Like when you said, you're like, that's some real shit. Yeah,
because like, you know, when you're stuck in a situation for so long, like you find different ways to just cope with it. Yeah. You find different ways to just deal with it and just be like, you know what? Eventually, I'm probably gonna get out the situation. So you want to know what? I'm gonna just deal with it now. You know, I'm gonna try to work towards whatever I need to work towards and get myself about the situation first. Because you know, you gotta deal with your own, you know, deeply rooted issues and all. You know, handle yourself first, and then you know other people come, the people that you care about, et cetera, et cetera. You feel me? So yeah.
Facts. Well, I like that. Let's jump on into another track. We're gonna actually be debuting or previewing a new track by SouthSide TeeJay today.
Go Slugs.
Yeah, we're not gonna jump into that yet, but you know, gotta let them know. Like,
you gotta ease it in.
Exactly. We're gonna ease it in real quick. So we're gonna jump on back to the EP you released in 2019. Yep, the X EP. So we're gonna jump on into that real quick. We're gonna start this off with some Southside Smoke real quick. So y'all tune on in. This is Southside Smoke by TeeJay, Southside TeeJay on Emano Talk. So y'all tune on in.
Rigor mortis, leave you stiff in the morgue. It ain't no biggie for my mafia to kick in the door, equipped with the sword. Tactics are efficient for war. Nostradamus kicking knowledge, yeah, my vision is pure shit. T gon' terrorize the residents, no nemesis. I'm from the south side, the 305 is my residence. You think you higher than me, I'm not sure about what your leverage is. Mad villain like Eddie Brock, penmanship venomous, ain't with the back and forth. Ain't practicing for Wimbledon, I'm off the Ritalin. A madman that intend to sin. Red rum is on my mind, Jack Nicholson. I stay 10 toes, don't give that to you fickle men. I'll kill your kin and dump that body in the river Styx. Trying to take some shots while I'm down to get your liver kicked. Bars are dope and they equivalent to flipping bricks. I blow minds with cold rhymes that you gon' reminisce, nigga. I'm 10 toes to the ground, hear it in my quotes. Questioning my words, catch a razor blade to your throat. I'm Will Griffin with the lines, ain't no fucking joke. Just face it, nigga, you ain't ready for the fucking smoke. I'm 10 toes to the ground, hear it in my quotes. Questioning my words, catch a razor blade to your throat. I'm Will Griffin with the lines, ain't no fucking joke. Just face it, nigga, you ain't ready for the fucking smoke. Pull up with a chainsaw, be a part of my massacre. Packing a big fun-size Mac inside the Acura, banging this metal all across your head like Metallica. Catch bodies with vernacular, you rap niggas amateur. Clock you in your chest bag to Hollywood, Flavor Flav, Miami-Dade, renegade, never been afraid. Know my story humble, I'm all is Hulk Hogan. I'm used to being home alone, that's Macaulay Culkin. Thoughts provoking, knocking off my sense of inner focus. I was hopeless, shedding tears cause I was broken. Now my spirit is my weapon, gunning demons down like Irameshi. Don't test me, man, dropping egos like I popped the Desi. Before New England, I had the chance to stop Al Jeffrey. Murder everything when I kick it like my name is Messi. Second in rhythm, let it hit him like I'm Rock him. And I'll drop gems, so my money's stretched like Dow Sim, nigga. Southside smoke, nigga. Southside smoke, nigga. Southside smoke, nigga. Southside smoke, nigga.
Honestly, that was the track I first heard by you that like, really like caught my ear. It was the overall first track I heard by you. Let me actually clarify it like that, because when I saw the name, I was like, all right, what track is this? And like, I'll like just play. Like if it's an EP, I'm like, all right, maybe this isn't like anything that like has a story really like to go throughout the structure of it, but probably to like where like, you know what, just listen to these. They each have their own individual value. Yeah, you know, and that track was fire because we listen to Pain. That's a little more smooth sailing. Yeah. Right, it's like telling you a story about
more
like
transparent and just smooth and just straight to the point.
Exactly, but this is that raunchy, like bar for bar, like
this is literally just like technicality at its finest. That's literally just what I wanted to do with that song. Like
you just wanted to rap.
I just wanted to rap. Like I have bars. I feel like technically, like I can just do whatever I want, and that was just the whole point of that song. Like I have bars, I have metaphors, I can bar niggas to death for however long I want to.
Yeah, and not even like because when you listen to Pain, right, you think of maybe something like a little more mellow. Like people would probably be like, all right, that could be something like Kendrick Lamar would kind of like probably take an approach on, is like telling like a story like that, right? Yeah. But when you hear a track like this is like just that like straight cutthroat hip hop, and like it's that classic shit, and like that's the thing. It shows that diversity in your sound and where you try to go with it. And I really like that, because like when you talk about having like this diverse taste in music, like as far as like listening to Metallica, Sly Stone and the Family and all of that, and Rage, all that, it shows in a track like that you could get a little more, raunchy with it, like rock and rollish kind of with it.
Yeah. No, like I think I want to get to a point where literally like with the right production and just the right, expression, I want to do some Rage shit. Like literally like outside of the influences that Zach has like one of the biggest influences on me, like Rage, like Zach and Tom Morello and like everybody in Rage, like literally that's my favorite band like ever. Yeah.
I was real hyped to see them too last year until the pandemic hit.
Yeah, duh.
Because as long as I've listened to them, Zach wasn't in the band and then he rejoined. I saw them when they were Prophets of Rage with Chuck D and Be Real. That was lit, but obviously you want to see
Zach.
Yeah,
Zach is the head, man.
It's not
like,
the same.
Yeah, exactly. Like you want to see Zach. Zach is literally the biggest focus of Rage.
And for those who don't know what he means by Zach, he means Zach De La Roche, who is the original rapper for Rage Against the Machine.
Exactly.
He's a fucking legend. And if you don't think he's I would probably say he's top 20 in rap ever. Like all time. And if you're not going to include him in there, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, is my opinion.
That's facts. Because literally, if you heard the first three, like I said, Rage album, and then Evil Empire, and then fucking Battle of Los Angeles, like bro, literally do your fucking research, because literally like it's like the perfect mesh of just metal and rap.
Yep.
Like literally, if you like those two things and you don't like Rage, physically there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, Rage Against the Machine was the perfect blend. I always felt Red Hot Chili Peppers kind of hit a perfect blend at times too, because if people don't consider someone like Anthony Kiedis a lyricist, right, like that's kind of a little out of question for someone to be like, well, he's not a rapper. If you listen to Soul to Squeeze, he has a verse in there where he spits a 16, I'm pretty sure it is, and like a lot of people underestimate the quality in trying to understand lyricism from those different genres, right? But I feel like maybe you took a little something from it on a track like Southside Smoke.
Yeah, I think like I've always taken pieces. I feel like me as an artist, I've taken pieces from every single person that I admire / I'm inspired by. Hence why you can hear, what you hear throughout the certain songs. Like you can hear me like wanting to be aggressive like Zach. Like I even have a song that I'm working on called Rage Against the Machine. Like
I feel like even with your vocals, like the way you actually project your voice, like I feel like that's something Zach De La Roche does, because he's mellowed out when he talks kind of, but like when he raps, he's out there.
That is one intricate man. Like literally, like he has. I feel like he has multiple personalities with how much he's willing to express himself, and so much in depth to the point where it's just like, yo, like a normal person hearing him talk would be like, what is this man talking about?
Right.
But it's just like, when he has such a presence on stage, and
he's a small dude.
Yeah,
he's a small dude, but yeah, you're right. He commands presence. Like that's huge. How do you feel like you see something like that? Does it translate to you looking to perform live? Like how do you feel about performing live? Do you feel like that's something that is?
I would definitely like to perform live.
So you've never gotten to yet?
No. It's just like the opportunity hasn't came yet. And plus it's like I feel like I haven't released the music that I want to release, that I want to perform, like specifically, like how like you get to a certain point where you feel comfortable. Like I feel comfortable rapping. I have no problem like just rapping, but I just feel like there's a certain effect I want to have, and there's a certain feel that I want to have when I perform. And I feel like the music that I'm making right now, that I'm planning on releasing in 2021, is going to be that music for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like this year, if things get better as far as COVID is concerned, then. And then, people host like, shows, and like, they have like this big lineup of artists. That's what I really enjoyed about like one thing that was prevalent in like the underground scene, like from like 2015 all the way to like 2019 was like, yo, like the underground scene was immense, and it was crazy because like literally artists from all over the fucking place was just, committing themselves to this really big fucking movement.
Yeah.
And it's just like you saw all like literally like even like the biggest artists all the way from like Zell to X. Like I can sit here and I can name so many artists from South Florida that literally is just like came from the underground scene, literally, and like I saw them rise, literally.
Yeah, and I would even go as far as even stretching that timeline from like 2012 to more so like 2018, maybe even 2011.
Yeah,
like there was a lot that was already brewing up at that time, and that I get what
Raider
you're saying.
Clan.
Yeah, absolutely. The Raider Clan days, like I mean, if we're being real, like if it wasn't for people like Raider Clan and ASAP Mob,
we would not have
the underground scene specifically wouldn't have it. Yeah,
exactly.
Like that was such a huge thing, and I think it's dope that you even look at that and you try to find inspiration from that, because it also shows you that it's possible. It's easy as long as you put forth the work.
Yeah, like no, like literally, and like song Gold Slugs, like that we're gonna preview later. I literally have a line. I said I came up on 3-6 and Raider Clan, nigga, because I'm repping Dade from you. I'm the Black Land. Like literally, like this is just real shit, bro. Like literally, like I feel like I put so much of myself in my music. Like literally, we could just have casual conversation, and I'd be like, "Yeah, I got a line for that."
Yeah,
like I have a line for that.
Honestly, too, like when I am listening to your music, there are some lines that probably like even when you said like I'd be banging my head like Metallica and shit like that. Like when I heard that the first time, I'm like, what the fuck does he know about Metallica? I was like, I definitely gotta ask him about this. Like now hearing like that, like you know, like that's the influence and shit like that. It makes total sense. Like why you say that, and I think it's cool that you know you're meticulous to the point where you know what, like I want to make sure that I'm not just reusing certain bars. I want to make sure that I'm touching different flavors of like what people can understand through my lyrics, like whether it's witty or actually like meant to tell a story or whatever the case is.
I literally go out of my way to make sure I don't say the same word in the same verse.
I like that.
Outside of nigga, because you know that's a placeholder and that's hip hop.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you know, we always do that, but it's just like I'm very meticulous to the point where like I'll just sit there and I'm just like, you know what, I don't want to say the same thing twice.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm gonna go out of my way to showcase the fact that, because the thing is, bro, you have so much things that you can say and you have so many ways that you can say them. You know, not all of it is gonna be unique. So it's just because, you know, let's just face it, everything has been said and damn near everything has been done at this point.
Inspiration, everybody gets inspiration from something. Like no one can really say like I did this all on my own with no something inspired you. Exactly. Like it could even be that you saw one word that inspired a whole idea, but something inspired you. I hate when people can't admit that.
Yeah, and also it's about me. Like I feel like I just don't want to jeopardize my integrity as an artist, because I feel like that's just what makes me me. Because technicality and expression and also just being very transparent is just, that's just who I am as a person, and I'm literally projecting that into my music.
What do you think is more important to you, to make sure you could keep it 100% authentic to what you believe in, or just making sure you get successful?
I mean, I feel like there has to be a mixture of both, because I feel like, you know, keeping it honest to yourself is always going to be like, honesty is the best policy. I feel like it's something that should be a thing, but I feel like, you know, I'm not gonna hate on the nigga if he get into the bag. Yeah, because it's like, bro, you see so many artists now that literally are like, they have no integrity, but they got 6-7 figures. So it's just like, and then it's like, because these niggas making money, can you really hate on them? Like me, like I could be critical of artists because I'm critical of everybody. That's just how my mind works. So it's just like, I could be critical of somebody, but at the same time, niggas will literally excuse you trying to be critical and you having an extensive opinion about something. Oh, he got a bag, bro. So can you really blame him for doing what he's doing? Like, nigga, I don't care what nobody say to me, dog. Like, listen, bro. Cardi makes really average music. I've always said this, like literally, like, and mind you, this is somebody that's literally listened to Cardi.
I've been waiting for somebody to open up this conversation. For me.
No, like, bro, like, see, I have no issue saying it, because this is coming from somebody that's listened to every single project that Cardi has dropped. I've listened to an extensive amount of Cardi music, and bro, just because, like, it's like, nigga, he makes very average music, and there's nothing wrong with that.
If I'm being real, he's one of these new artists that I never thought I would see it like this, but only has declined like throughout this entirety. Like I know if I'm gonna be completely 100, and I know a lot of people are gonna probably be mad at me for saying this. Whole lot of rap is a whole lot of trash.
We just got.
It was terrible. I didn't like it. There were like maybe like 2 songs that like I could bump because of the beat.
You wanna know what's crazy? The song that I listened to the most off a whole lot of rap was New Neon, and that shit was leaked like a year ago.
Yeah. So
I was just like, I mean, like literally, I tried my best to sit through the album, because me, like, I like sitting down in one place and just listening to albums. Same. And just internalizing it for whatever reasons that I may want to internalize it. And it's just like, I just couldn't do it. Like versus like literally how I've processed Cardi in my head is like, bruh, I literally listen to Cardi for just ad libs and to hear Pierre shine. That's literally what you listen to Cardi for. You listen to Cardi for Pierre and just ad-libs.
That's literally what it is. I mean, like that could only go so long, you know. Like, exactly. and I feel like he tries to change up his style, and I like that about him. I do respect that about him, but I feel like he just whatever the first thing that pops to mind is like, yeah, that's a good idea, and he just kind of just does it.
You can't really hate on somebody for trying to expand their horizons as far as creativity is concerned. But I feel like there's no longevity in what he's doing.
Yeah,
because it's like, let's just face it, bro, you could name so many artists that were in the position of Cardi, like literally they were fucking huge, and then in the next 4 years you don't know where the fuck they're at. They disappeared. And I feel like with the era of music that they're making now, not to say that you have to know how to rap. You don't have to have the foundation of the older generation to be able to make good music, because there's a lot of people that don't listen to older shit that literally make amazing music. See, the thing is like, I'm not going to sit here and try to make it seem like you have to listen to these older artists. I did my research on the older generations because I wanted to. Yeah. And because I just enjoyed that.
And also your family was showing you, you know, like exactly. they were trying to influence you.
Exactly. So it's just like, you can't really enforce that onto somebody. But the thing is, it's just like me, I just enjoy that music. And I also enjoy a lot of new music. Like there's a lot of dope artists out right now. And I love music. I just loved listening to it. I loved internalizing it. I loved just experiencing the bliss that music can give you. Like literally you could be at the most lowest of the low and depressed and literally listen to a song and it'll bring you right up here with no hesitation.
Hell yeah.
Like I said, it's just an out of body experience.
Yo, that's what music is, man. I love that you even said it like that, bro. I couldn't even have said it better myself, but let's give the people some more outer body experiences
for sure, man.
Here we are. So this next track I'm gonna be playing right here is called "Honor Death." It's featuring Kiss the Crook.
Kiss the Crook and Jarek. Yep. Shout out to Kiss the Crook. Shout out to my boy Steve. He lives in New York. He literally is like the illest producer ever, and also just like he makes his own music too. Like he's a dope artist. Like he makes a lot of rage, like literally mosh pit music.
Okay. I could dig it then. Yeah. Shout out Steve. Shout out Kiss the Crook. Y'all tune on in. This is Honor Death by SouthSide TeeJay.
Yeah.
Honor my name before my last breath. Shells gonna rain, aiming for heads. Coffins are laid and honor of death. Honor my name before my last breath. Shells gonna rain, aiming for heads. Coffins are laid and honor of death.
Hey yo, mind shot like a new blade, faded the gas like a fart with the new babe. Knee to the face, like your brain like a two-face, and your body up by two-tone shoelace, huh? Yes, bitch, I'm back from my hiatus. Don't give a fuck if you wait it. I'm not here to debate it. You just address it and state it. Moving as on, I should know where to find it. Cause I know we do it and turn this bitch. Yeah, we run with the finest shit. Yeah, that's why it's so hard to find the shit. To find the shit. Too many pilots are flying this shit. I take the pack of the smoke of the sack. I make friends and I cup it, I gotta eject. Cutting off those clean fat Jolene, mixing chloroform codeine, sleeping gas to the bitch Angelina Jolie. Niggas scared like Doki Doki in the corner, rope it open, roll the smoke, then okie dokie. No, it's potent, no opponent defeating me. All them deceased, hold the rosary. I go to niggas supposed to be crook. TeeJay and Jarek, who stole the scene. Set the road, I ain't twice ditty. I'm down on my niggas is salty and I ain't like I do not idolize you. I just like do like I go screaming, rain out of my cool man. I'm tired of like voodoo one again. Blood stains on my blade, give me the honor grade.
Shells gonna rain, aiming for heads. Coffins are laid, in honor of death. Honor my name before my last breath. Shells gonna rain, aiming for heads. Coffins are laid, in honor of death. Southside, Southside, Turn Jon Snows to John Doe's pronto. Never been a foe, 10 toes wherever I go. Fuck a top 10, leave it top 5, 5, let it sink into your skin for the LIGO. Bump in the trunk, riding on my trick shit. Slick talk, make you lip walk so don't get hit. All the storytelling, no point, slick brick pen. Bitch, I came to kill for the thrill like Craig's hand. Mastermind, no Renzel. Came from the zoo, call up Denzel. Florida boy like I'm Lil Pooh. Niggas minuscule, cause I pin well. Pressing with the heat, no D-Way. Blade today back in all black like he ain't willing to dough with the flows. I mean, they turning my misery into some green days, By my business like a thorough nigga. Catch some.
We're gonna go back to back on them. You said you a Florida boy like you poo, so we about to hear it. Y'all tune on in. This Florida boy by SouthSide TeeJay.
Yeah. Ay. Yeah. Bitch, I'm a Florida boy. Live under the sun, but die by the gun. You don't got no choice but to run. I'm a Florida boy. Intro redemption, cause I'm on my sin and it's the beginning of my end. Yeah, flooding the streets of the dope. Ronald Reagan, boy, I'm by my payment, never mark my statements. Plot for acres when I blow, don't flock for favors. Or go cause my mama made me. Pockets aching cause the stock is vacant, but to count my blessings never stop my prayers. I'm killing rappers, Assalamu alaikum. Niggas ain't a factor when I stop the pavement. I'm never breaking the code, material don't match the weight of my soul. Set my goals and then I pave it in stone. Meditate on my mistakes and they grow. Marathons from my city like Nipsey. Victory laps over tracks till I get it. Health over wealth, teachings a city. Nitty gritty, got no time for the shit. I'm a Florida boy. Live under the sun, but die by the gun. You don't got no choice but to run. I'm a Florida boy. Intro redemption, cause I'm on my sin and it's the beginning of my end. Yeah, no name, Cobain, taking off your gold chain. Southside niggas on the ride, ain't no game. Bust Glocks, picking up tops of your whole gang. Buffing and selling that gas, propane. Everybody wanna rap, everybody wanna trap. Shut the fuck up and just leave it to niggas that seen the real picture and not on Twitter tapping shit up in caps. If you smoking Chris Tucker on Friday, phonies ain't picking up my plate. Niggas try to block my blessings and fly. They never fold.
Snap. Snap. Let's go. Yo, I love that verse, dog. I fucking love that verse. Because obviously that was a track that, by seeing the name of it, was one of the first tracks I also heard by you.
Yeah.
And I just fuck with that one so heavily because, like, yo,
I appreciate it,
once
bro.
again, the bars. Like, I love what you were saying, like, in the track. It was like, you know, if I'm gonna put on for Florida and say that this is a track called Florida Boy, like, I'm gonna make sure that if people listen to this, they understand, like, I'm not just like your regular Florida boy or this Florida man bullshit.
Exactly.
I'm gonna come at you. You gonna understand?
For sure. Nah, like literally the whole purpose of X was literally just to like embody the lifestyle of just South Florida, because like it also references like, you know, one of my favorite animes, which I'm wearing right now. Samurai X, also known as, you know, just fucking Kenshin, my boy Kenshin. But it's also just like, you know, his story in the anime is literally just like, cause like, you know, I'm a big anime fan, cartoon fan, wrestling fan. Like I love a whole lot of shit. You feel me? So it's just like I wanted to take that story of like him, basically to summarize it for people that don't watch anime. This nigga's a savage, and he's a well-known savage. He's a well-known samurai, and you know, people always just try to like test his gangster and try to see like, you know what, is this nigga really about what people tell me that he's about? But he is, and pretty much every single nigga that comes and tries to kill him gets clapped.
Yeah, and
So
they get
just-
clapped.
And I feel like it's just like, bro, I am what I am. I'm about what I'm about, and it's just like I like putting on for my city. Literally, I don't think there's a single verse that I write that I don't reference Miami in.
Yeah,
And I feel like that's just literally like I don't reference South Florida in general because I just rep South Florida because that's just where I'm from, and like I love putting on for the city because you don't see too many people like just putting the city on their back and look like niggas don't even know about me. I'm putting the city on my back just because that, bro, this is just where I'm from, and I'm gonna rep it until I make it somewhere.
yeah. And it's not even that it's just Miami or Broward to you.
Exactly.
It's Florida.
It's just Florida.
It's Florida.
Exactly.
Like that's just how I feel like we got to go about it as Floridians. Honestly, like so many people are just like, oh yeah, Miami do this, and it's like, but Broward do that, and it's like it don't matter about Broward
It
and Miami.
really doesn't. Like there's no dividing line. Literally, bro. Broward is literally right there. Like county line is right there, dog. Like it's just there's no division. And I feel like literally, and I brought the underground scene up earlier. Also, before I forget, you know, shout out, like I said, shout out Chris the Crook and shout out Jure. Jure literally, you know, that's my boy. Like that's my brother right there. They both live in New York, and literally they showed me so much love. Like they're the reason why that EP happened.
Yeah,
Because Kiss the Crook, he produced that whole thing. Outside of, you know, my boy Rapswell producing fucking Southside Smoke. And, you know, my boy Dre, he engineered that entire thing. So it was just like, you know,
It's
I
all organic, homegrown.
wanted to show them love. You know, I ain't forget. You feel me, bro? I'm not finna sit there and forget. But, yeah, back to what I was saying about the underground scene. It's like, I feel like it's universal. Like, because South Florida has so much, and that's what people mistake about South Florida. They think that it's just like one-dimensional, and it doesn't have, like, Florida's literally a melting pot of just culture and just a whole bunch of other shit, and it's like so much music so much creativity just comes out of South Florida, and I feel like a lot of people, now people are starting to like really like just anticipate it due to the fact that so many Florida artists run the rap game right now.
Facts.
So many. Like literally, like people hear Denzel Curry, they hear
and Denzel Curry getting millions of views on each video and track.
He's literally the epitome of creativity. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous how much that one nigga can do.
Yeah, and it's unbelievable because he's not like a mainstream artist yet.
Not.
He's getting that mainstream success because he's just being himself authentic 100% of the way.
Exactly, and like even like shout out to Radical and Anon, like him too. Like
shout out Anon, shout out Shaq, shout out all them boys at Radical, man. That's family right there.
Yeah, that's exactly. So it's just like even with him, Anon literally like just his creativity in general, like it's fucking ridiculous. I feel like that shit's limitless. Like
Anon from around here, like from Miramar, West Broward area. Yeah. And that boy, he's been doing that shit since he was like, I want to say like 15, forever. 16 years old. I remember seeing him like back in like 2011 at a hookah bar performing.
Yeah, and
that boy just been hustling ever since. Like he's consistent about his shit.
Like literally, all the success that he gets, whether it's on like a general level or even in the most immense way possible, he fucking deserves because that man works so fucking hard.
Yeah, and he did by keeping it 100.
Exactly, and it's just like his creativity is just ridiculous. Like literally, you can only understand if you're just an artist. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, because a lot of people think it's as easy as jumping behind the mic and just saying the first thing that pops to mind. Like that's really not the case. Like it, and I'll say this from a point of view. Like I'm a producer. I've produced music. I play guitar, things like that. It's difficult to write lyrics. Like it's difficult. Like if people think that this is some easy shit, that if they just walk up there and they just start talking about money, clothes, and hoes, you're not gonna last.
Well, yeah, like I said, there's gonna be a general buzz for you because again, people are just used to people perpetuating that specific lifestyle, and people want to be attached to that because everybody want to live the same life. I don't understand it, but it's just like that's just what people want to live. And it's just like me, I've been rapping for so long, and it's like for like the first 3 years of me wanting to be creative, I literally just wrote, and I strengthened my foundation and my craft before I even laid a verse down. Yeah. That's how dedicated I was. And it's like after that, that's when I actually started recording music, because like I didn't start recording music until like 2016. Before that, I was literally rapping and like writing for like 4 years before that. And it was just like I literally just kept being consistent with it. That's why like I feel like it's effortless for me now. Like I could write a verse about whatever the fuck I want. And the thing is, I also like limit myself to only writing when I'm really inspired about something. Because I feel like when you try to force something to happen, literally it's just gonna come out very shallow. Because like when you're inspired by something, it just comes so easily. Versus like literally like, it's like you doing something because you want to do it versus you feeling like you have to do it. So it's like the effort and the amount of time that you invest into it is going to be very, very, very just immense versus like you scratching the surface level of what you want to do. And I feel like a lot of artists should what's the word I'm looking for? Also pace themselves, because I feel like a lot of artists don't pace themselves well. Because like I had this conversation so many times. Like we talk about, like me and my homies talking about Logic, and I was just like, the one big thing that Logic I feel like didn't do properly was pace himself.
And he burned himself out.
He burned himself out so fast because he literally released a project every year.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and he had stories to tell.
No, like I said, because me, like I'm even now, like I love Logic's early work. I literally bought his first album when it came out in 2014. Like I literally remember the day that it came out, and I went to the store and I bought it physically. And it's just like, it's just crazy to see how far, like literally, like he's come, but it's just like, it's like he crashed and burned on his own, just due to the fact that he literally like he burned himself out of like what he wanted to talk about. And I feel like it became singular and one dimensional, when it came to his race. And let's just be honest, he's talked about that so much. But also it's just like I feel like he just ran out of shit to say.
Yeah.
So and it's like I feel like what separates you from becoming that is just like, even like with Kendrick and Cole, they may not release every single year, but when they release, that's a whole new wave and a whole
to go platinum and everything.
A guaranteed wave, a guaranteed movement, a guaranteed, way to make noise. Like literally, when Kendrick come through, everybody stop what they doing.
The whole fucking world shakes.
Exactly. When Cole come through, like even if you don't like his music, the world stops for that nigga. Like literally, nobody can sit here and tell me that when Cole drops a fucking album, niggas is not listening to that shit.
Even if they hate on it.
Exactly.
Even if they hate on it, they're gonna pick that shit up and they're gonna listen to it.
You know, all the niggas on Twitter that be talking shit about Cole, and niggas be memeing and doing all types of. And
it's funny because they're the first ones to download it and listen to it.
Exactly, because it's like, how the fuck you know the shit trash if you ain't listen to it?
Yep.
So it's just like, y'all can hate on the nigga all you want, but it's just like, bro, a movement literally happens every time that man releases. Anytime that man does anything, a movement. Like literally, he has like one of the most consistent fan bases I've seen. And like
he did it. Honestly, if you were to ask me, I think Cole really figured out the true formula.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I think the coolest thing with him was that he started with that superficial bullshit, and then he realized he's like, no, like I got to talk about experience. I got to talk about that real shit that I went through. And I think he was one of the first rappers to kind of show people that hip hop doesn't have to be all about like what's happening in the streets. Or like, you have to come from a certain area or be a certain race. Like, I think he kind of showed that it was like, if you have experience in your heart, and like it was pain, beauty, all that stuff. Like, if you just talk about it honestly, and this is the kind of style you want to talk about it as, like that, that spoken word, this is your chance to do so. And he kind of showed that it's like, hey, you don't have to limit yourself to what, the mainstream media or people are trying to like box you in as.
Yeah, I feel like I really appreciate when artists like showcase to you that hip hop can be whatever the fuck you want it to be.
Yeah,
and I feel like a lot of people don't comprehend that hip hop can literally be just that. It doesn't have to be a specific thing, and I feel like that's one of the biggest divides of like the older generation and the newer generation, because like the older generation is trying to tell you that this is hip hop and like this is the only hip hop that that I understand that we're gonna make you listen to. But then the newer generation is like, we're taking from that, but also we're literally doing what the fuck we want to do with it. We're making hip hop what we want it to be.
Facts.
So I feel like that's just what creativity and what music should be. Doing whatever the fuck you want, as long as you have a formula to it and it makes sense and like there's rhythm and there's everything that you want it to be in there. And you enjoy it and you like it, fuck what anybody else got to say.
Exactly. It's how if you're going to tell your story, if you're going to portray your emotions and the things you go through, you got to do it your way. You can't do it in someone else's format, because then you're just going to be inauthentic. You're going to literally take it off balance. It's not going to be structured the right way.
Exactly. And I feel like, again, structure is another thing too. Like I said, as far as like, again, I feel like as an artist, structure, pacing, expression, honesty, depending on the whatever you want to be honest about.
Yeah,
because I feel like everybody ain't honest. Let's just keep it real. So it's just like honesty and integrity, and also just passion. Because I feel like integrity, passion, and just honesty, literally what drives a lot of artists to just be an artist. Like me, that's what drives me. Because I feel like I'm passionate about this. Like, I've done this shit for so long, and I'm passionate about it so much to the point where, like, I don't see myself stopping. Unless, like, literally something drastic happens, I'm always going to have an attachment to music.
Like a life-altering event entirely.
Exactly. Like, literally, I'm always going to have an attachment to music. And I feel like that's with anything that I'm interested in. Like, anything that I'm involved in, I'm going to have an attachment to for a long period of time. Like, the only thing that can stop me, honestly, the only thing that can stop me is death. You feel me? As far as, like, so it's like, I feel like I'm gonna be here for a while. Like, I'm here to stay. Like,
get used to this phase, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's literally what I want my career to be shaped after. Like, Cole literally is probably one of the Cole and Kendrick. I'm trying to shape my fucking career after them, not following their footsteps directly, to say the least. But it's also just like, I want to make my own movement in my own wave, and I want to do it in my own way. And I'm here to stay. Longevity is literally what I want. I don't want to just fucking make my quick money and then fucking leave afterwards. Like, nah, because that shit ain't it, man. Because like, if you in it for the the superficial, like, materialistic shit, then I mean, hey, bro, listen, grind for a few years, do your shows, make your bread, get out. But it's like, I feel like for the people like me that are in it for the long haul, regardless of whatever type of music you're making, what's driving us is the passion and just the enjoyability of making music.
Yeah.
And just the therapy that it brings also, because writing started as a sense of therapy for me when I literally felt like I was just trapped in my own fucking mind and I couldn't, elaborate on things that I wasn't either comfortable with or I was just sensitive about.
or even properly phrase it through normal conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it sounds like the only thing that could stop you is a gold slug, bro. So we about to tune on into this brand new SouthSide TeeJay. We got gold slugs. Y'all get a little preview of. I see this track almost 6 minutes long, so they're gonna get a little snippet. They gotta be ready on the lookout. But y'all tune on in real quick.
Shout out my boy Gels. He from the Bronx. He produced this.
Shout out Gels. Shout out to the Bronx. Shout out SouthSide TeeJay. But this is Gold Slugs. Y'all are hearing it first here on Emano Talk. Hold up.
Not at all.
All right, I was about to say, what was that?
What's going on?
Hold
I'm
up.
like, nah.
Hold up. Sorry about that.
That's all good.
That's
why I was just like, hold up. Technical difficulties. What's going on?
I know, right? Here we are. Now I got it on my phone finally. It was downloading this whole time. There we are. Getting it pulled up for y'all right now. Sorry about that.
Nah, that's all good. I was about to say, I'm just like,
I was wondering. Right. I was like, damn, is that an effect? I was like, I know there's some people.
I don't. That's a little too overbearing.
Yeah.
On the ears.
We about to get that right now.
Yeah, we got to get that right, man.
Here we are.
I'm gonna say because that. Nah.
It's going. Well, in the meantime, while I was finalizing this download,
because
I actually wanted to ask you about your clothing line.
Yeah, Many Vices.
Yeah, yes, Many Vices. Talk to me about that real quick.
I mean, I feel like I've always wanted to start a clothing brand. I just feel like it was just all about proper timing and when I wanted to do it. And I feel like with the events of COVID happening and also just like the money that I was getting funded by the government because I was running up a check, basically, like, I mean, it's just free. It's just free, a free means to just create opportunity for yourself. And it's just like, that's basically what money is for me right now. Like, it's just me to take care of myself and also just create opportunity to do what I want to do. And making a clothing brand was something that I wanted to do. And I just came up with the name Many Vices MIA. Because, I feel like there's, I wanted to something that could appeal to the youth in the sense that, like, everybody has their own issues and vices and just problems that they fucking deal with. And I feel like when you can relate that in a message and, bring it physically, as far as like, physically in the sense that, like, you can share a feeling with somebody. Like, you can share a feeling through clothes. You can share a feeling through music. You can share a feeling through so much shit. And I feel like literally, again, just a random scenario, like literally we could like the same band, and I can have the band shirt on. You could just walk into me like, yo, bro, I love that band, bro.
Yeah.
And I feel like that feeling, you can literally have that with anything. And that's just the type of feeling that I wanted to capture with Many Vices. Like, everybody has their own shit that they go through. We're all different people. We all come from different backgrounds and different cultures. But at the same time, it's just like we can all come together and literally form under, one ideal. It could be Many Vices, and that's just it.
I like that. Yeah, y'all go follow Many Vices. They got some dope pieces. They got some stuff out now, but I know he said that y'all got some stuff coming out soon, so y'all better be on the lookout for that.
I got some hoodies that I'm working on.
Okay.
I also got another set of shirts that I want to work on too, but that's gonna come when they come though. Y'all gotta be prepped for that.
Y'all be ready for that. But we did prepare the gold slugs properly.
Yes.
My apologies again, but let's tune on in that brand new SouthSide TeeJay.
There we go. That's how it's supposed to sound.
Greed is in the heart of us all. Deceit is just a part of the fall. Greed is in the heart of the salt.
Yeah.
Deceit is just a part of the fall.
These gold slugs shine, shine, shine in my mouth. They love the way I talk, cause I'm a nigga from the south. FLA, where I'm raised, they counted till I'm out. I'm in love with the shine, but the shade give me doubt. Is this the place that I'm meant to be? Fame and the accolades mixed with birds and deceit. Throw my heart to the sky so my mind can run free. But this gold got me trapped, so in darkness I sleep. Gold slugs in my mouth when I'm at to the hoes. It's the return of the Mac like Craig or Mark Mo. Low life motherfuckers spitting fat fucking flows. 305 to my city from a family full of souls. They said I changed, but these carrots don't define me. Money, power, respect, but these checks won't refine me. Won't abandon my self-worth just to be a signee. They do it for the shine. My spirit more sublime, G. A mortal man that's been living his mistakes, cemented to a cycle built off his disgrace. Avoid feel that hate, so we fill it up with pace. Just a story with no title, like that nigga Denny said. Poverty's the reason why my people are dead, and it's the history that tread within the evils of lead. Cause my town painted red from the power of dread, as they reopen the wounds that was already bled. Shit, gold slugs shine, shine, shine in my mouth. They love the way I talk, cause I'm a nigga from the south. FLA, where I'm raised, they counted till I'm out. I'm in love with the shine, but the shade give me doubt. Is this the place that I'm meant to be? Fame and the accolades mixed with birds and deceit. Throw my heart to the sky so my mind can run free. But this gold got me trapped, so in darkness I sleep. Dope boy in the caddy riding around with the stank on him. Rolling on D's, fresh and clean, candy paint on it. Florida boy, politicking with the fangs on him. Bumping Uncle Luke, riding out to change the game on him. Tiptoeing anxiety, straining for a sign. These staying gold chains.
Okay. That's all they getting. That's all they getting. They getting the 2-minute sneak peek.
Oh yeah, they getting the 2 minutes. Nah,
They get the 2-minute sneak
Y'all gonna
peek.
have to check that out when it come out.
Yeah, but I get to bump that after this. That's the dope shit right there, man. I'm
Yeah.
fucking with that. I actually got to tell you, Lou ended up chatting in YVY for y'all who don't know. He said, I never bumped a Cole album. Shut up, Lou.
Hey man, listen, bro. Hey, that's perfectly fine, bro. You still my homie, bro. It don't matter. You feel me? But it's just like, hey, bro, like music is subjective. You feel me? You can enjoy what you can enjoy, and I can enjoy what I can enjoy.
Yeah, that's why God made vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. You got a flavor to choose from. You enjoy that.
Exactly.
I ain't gonna
Yeah.
judge you. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. We'll see.
But yeah, man, I want to ask you, bro, how you feeling about that track?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Honestly, I see where the Outkast influence comes from. I also see where the Nas influence comes from. And you even hear like those bits and pieces again of like that rage and that kind of idea. But I really like it because it's a good mesh of it all. Because like you hear people that try to do too much on one track.
Yeah.
And although it's a clash of styles, it's not a bad clash because they end up meshing at points. Like it kind of like submerges like almost like through the track. Like you hear like where it's like, all right, this style's in here right now, and then it kind of like zones out for a second, like it subs out like like a basketball player does, and then like someone else steps in like a different style.
Yeah. No, like I feel like all the songs that I'm working on for this project that I got, I literally wanted each song to have their own individual meaning. And like literally Gold Slugs, like what I wanted to portray, like this song, it's literally just like one of the upbeat song, and like it sounds really positive, but the shit I'm talking about on the song is literally really is negative in all honesty. Like, yeah, because like pretty much I'm literally glorifying materialism. That's what the song is about.
Yeah, and it feels like, like listening to some of the lyrics, like I didn't get to catch all the lyrics and really analyze it in full, but from like some of the parts you did have come up that I did catch, I felt like it was like kind of like trying to show like don't judge the book by its cover to an extent. Like you never really know what's happening, and although like this beat sounds pretty and this is like a smooth track, right? There's some rough edges around it.
Yeah, because in the hook is like the gold slug shine, shine, shine in my mouth. They love the way I talk because I'm a nigga from the South. FLA, where I'm raised, they county till I'm out. I'm in love with the shine, but the shade give me doubts. Is this the place that I'm meant to be? Fame and the accolades mixed with birds and deceit. Throw my heart to the sky so my mind can run free, but this gold got me trapped, so in darkness I sleep. That's the hook. So it's just like the whole purpose is just to showcase like, yo, bro, like materialism don't mean everything. Just because you have materialism and you have some sort of success or like good things are happening for you doesn't mean that's what makes the person. That just because because like a rush of positivity and like just success and just materialism and just money comes doesn't mean that's going to immediately fix the problems that you have.
Yeah. And like that's crazy that you even say it like that. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie called The Green Book, but it's about this old school piano player, and this is based on a true story. And he ended up hiring a driver who was like an Italian dude, right? Like from the mob, he was like recommended, all this stuff. And this was like in the heart, of like racist times, like all that stuff. And there was one scene in the movie where he goes to perform at a hotel, and the hotel basically like tells him like he can't sit in the dining room with everybody, that he has to like eat outside and shit like that. Yeah. And they ultimately like tried to like tell him like, all right, like, well, we paid you, like, like it's all about the money, like almost. And it's like, no, there's also a line of respect in it too. And like that's why I kind of like that hook, because like when you hear that part where you're saying like they're gonna love me because I got these gold slugs in my mouth and because I'm from the South and all that stuff. It's not all about like what you see and like what what you're able to provide somebody. It's not always about that. It's like what is it about my music that kind of like carries weight, that makes me the man I am, versus like like what I look like and the materialistic things that I hold on to.
Yeah, because even like in the first verse, I say a mortal man that's been living his mistakes, cemented to a cycle built off his disgrace, avoid full of hate, so he fill it up with page. Just a story with no title, like the nigga Denny say. Like that literally is just the summarization of the whole song. Like literally, like I have my deeply rooted issues and I have my problems, but you want to know what? Because like literally, it's hypocrisy. It's like, bro, like because I have these materialistic items, I feel fucking great. But deep down, when I take these chains off, when I take these rings off, when I take the gold slugs out my mouth, when I go home and I realize that I'm back to the world that I was in, and all this shit that I'm surrounded by isn't prevalent, I'm fucking depressed. I'm fucking like literally, I have a whole bunch of deeply rooted issues, and I have a whole bunch of mental issues, and I have a whole bunch of shit that I have to deal with. But you want to know what? These niggas don't care because these gold slugs shine in my mouth.
Yeah, because I look the part that they want me to look. Versus
that's literally like the whole purpose of the song. And I feel like I want people to catch that, but also it's just like I love explaining my songs because I generally like trying to understand how people process my music. And it's like with that song has so much meaning. And it does it in a very small package, which is what I enjoy about how I make my music. Like I don't try to make my music overly complicated or overly extensive. Like if you just like it because of how it sounds, like I genuinely appreciate that. But if you actually listen to my music, like even on X, like X was a really aggressive project, but also like I was still dropping gems in there here and there when I could, you feel me? So it's just like, because like that's naturally when I write, that's just I always want to talk about something.
Yeah, I feel it's never like it's just fully a feeling. Like there's always a little bit of like that self inspiration there.
Exactly, because I feel like there's always something to talk about. Like I feel like there's so much to talk about. Because I feel like, and that's why like nowadays, like with how people construct their own music, I just feel like there's so much you could talk about. And I feel like because of how people make their music now, people kind of interpret music differently versus back then. Back then, you really had no fucking choice but to sit down and just listen to people. Yeah. Nowadays, people don't really do that anymore.
You could skip easily. You don't got to rewind all that shit.
Nowadays, people listen to the first song that they see, and then if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. Me, like, I feel like I give people a very extensive chance when I try to get into an artist.
Like, I almost wait to see what people's reaction are to an artist before I really give them a listen.
There's times where like I have my moments where I do that, but at the same time, I literally go out of my way for so much that it's just like if I want to see what an artist's about, I'm just gonna go and do it. I'm not gonna let other people try to sway my opinion or sway what I want to do as far as like who I want to get into. So it's like if somebody tells me about an artist, I'm gonna just listen to them. Yeah. Instead of like, because how like people are like, oh, I'm gonna just search this up. I'm gonna see if this album sounds good. Like, no, I'm gonna just listen to it. And if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. And if my opinion is like similar to the general pop, like the general population, then it's just like, all right, cool. But if it's not, and if I like something, I feel like it's just like people are very easily influenced. They let a lot of other opinions dictate how they're going to make their decisions and how they choose to speak, how they choose to listen to this, who they choose to listen to. And I feel like it's just, bruh, you just listen to whatever the fuck you want to listen to. Because like, I listen to all these styles and all these music, and I look how I look, and it's just like, I don't really care. Like, because like literally, like I used to dress really alternative, like to the point like I used to wear fucking choke. Like even now, like it's still incorporated in my style. Like I've toned down a lot. But like literally, I used to just fucking wear like really alternative clothes, like chokers and like fucking like long sleeve striped shirts under my fucking band tees. Like like I used to do all that shit. So, but it's just like I didn't really care because that's just the type of culture that I enjoyed. Like, and One thing I didn't like, definitely, because like I don't know if it's just me or like if it's just multiple people. Like I don't understand how you can't be anything other than white and listen to metal or listen to alternative music. I don't understand that.
Yeah, and honestly, I kind of feel the same thing about hip hop. That a lot of people are like, oh, but it's hip hop, and it's like, oh, like people are almost like trying to just keep it exclusively as like a black,
It makes
genre.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, you got to open up the genres to other, people of other nationalities and things like that, to put it like that, but you want to make sure that everybody kind of gets their fair chance at it, because in all honesty, where would hip-hop be without people like Eminem, Vanilla Ice, Logic? Like these are people that did contribute, like although like we have the Macklemores that we feel like have hindered the genre because of like the Grammy situation, and then this fucking freestyle he released today, I don't even want to talk about that shit, but
I can't remember the last time I've heard a Macklemore song.
Well, he released a freestyle today about Trump leaving the office, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah,
Trust me when I tell you, just hearing that out loud is just the subject. I'm sure you're just like,
no.
yeah. So like I feel like people do have to think of that idea of like where would we be if like there weren't those rappers? Because I feel like if Eminem was never in place, like who wouldn't he have probably inspired? Because if it wasn't for Eminem, where would 50 Cent be? And like 50 Cent like solely says like I wouldn't be where I am without
Eminem or Dre.
Yeah, but like mostly Eminem. Like Eminem was really like the person that was
exactly.
like, like 50 Cent. And then Dr. Dre's obviously the final like say in it all. But like these are people that did play a prevalent part in hip hop. And like you see Eminem produce songs for Jay-Z and shit like that, and has all these great collab songs, and performances even with like Elton John, and that changed the landscape of hip hop. Yeah. We gotta be honest with ourselves in saying that everybody needs to be included in these things.
Well, of course, and that's why like I feel like I want to my main purpose is just like just have people enjoy my music, but also it's just to branch all the culture and all the just like all the influences that I have and literally just bring them together in a seamless way. Because I feel like when people are like one track minded or just like again one dimensional about what they choose to listen to, and then it's just like, oh, I'm the only person that can listen to this, or like I only know this artist for this thing. Like when people immediately box you in, it's kind of for like as an artist that's really creative, it's really frustrating.
Yeah,
because it's just like, bro, like I'm way more capable than what you think I am. Like because I feel like people first impressions, like initial impressions of what people are always gonna remember about you. Like the first song you heard from me, that's your initial impression of me. And that's always going to stick with you no matter how much we talk. But as I continue to progress as an artist, people are going to realize like, oh shit, this guy is fucking crazy. Like he can really do that. Cause like I said, I have a whole bunch of shit that I'm working on. Like even like I have a song called Lucy that I'm working on too. Like I'm over giving you the exclusive. So it's just like, I have a song called Lucy that I'm working on. And it's like an R&B mesh type of song where like I'm still rapping, but I'm going out of my way to like literally like be intentional with my melodies, and like I'm getting a female singer and I'm doing all types of other shit on there. And it's just like I really like doing shit like that because it just goes to show that you can literally do whatever the fuck you want. As long as you're capable or somebody that's capable, you can mesh those things together and it could be seamless. And you could literally make history in your own way by literally just being yourself. And I feel like the whole purpose of me being an artist is just showcase that I'm just myself, and that's just the whole goal. Like, like the money and all types of other benefits that come with success can be like the main reason why people would want to like chase after a dream like being an artist. But at the core of it all, it's all about value. It's all about principle. It's all about where you come from and what you want to do with your life, and it's also about like how you want to do it.
Facts. And speaking of what you're trying to build now leading into 2021, what could we expect out of SouthSide TeeJay 2021?
Definitely more music, because I've been slacking in that department. Not on working on music, but just on releasing music.
Yeah, just letting other people hear it at this point.
Yeah, that's just like, like I want to release my music, which I'm going to. Gold Slugs is probably...
Well, I was about to say, hearing Gold Slugs, it sounds like it's been worth the wait so far.
Well, I definitely appreciate that. Like I'm a very critical and like just person when it comes to just what I create. So it's just like I'll sit there. Like Gold Slugs probably has like 7 different versions of that song.
Yeah.
Like the original version of that song, like, see, when you hear the whole song, you're gonna understand why I say that, because like literally, like I'm not gonna spoil nothing, but there's a reason why that song is that long.
Okay.
So it's just like Yeah, I have like 6 different versions of that song. Like as far as like that's concerned, and then like literally like I'm very critical. So like I sit here and I like sitting with my music. Because sometimes when you don't sit with your music and you just release it, that's how you end up hating your own music. Because like a lot of artists will sit there and release music in the moment and they'll just be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna just put this out. And then like 2 weeks later they listen to it. I fucking hate this.
Yeah, you get sick because you probably heard it 20 times more than the biggest listener in that whole situation.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like I said, I've heard this song so many times, but I still love it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what like if you don't love your own music, I don't see the point in even making music. Like I don't see the point in being creative in that way if you're not gonna. I don't know. I feel like especially as musicians, it's like taboo to listen to your own music and enjoy it. And I don't understand that. Like it's like literally even like a good example, like Donald Glover, like on his stand-up Weirdo that he released in like 2011 to 2012. He literally said, he had a joke. He's like, bro, if I made sandwiches for a living, people aren't gonna fucking look at me weird if I go home and make myself a sandwich. But if I literally make my own song and I'm listening to it and I want to enjoy my own song, people think that you're this narcissistic person because you want to listen to your own music and enjoy it. Like it's
just so true.
It's just a weird like take. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like I genuinely enjoy what I write.
I mean, if we being real, when Wayne was at the top of his game was when he was only listening to his own music.
Exactly.
Like that was such a big thing. Like I'll never forget when Wayne said they were like, what music are you listening to, that you feel like is inspiring you? And he's like, I only listen to me. And then once he started listening to other people, I feel like he let so many other people influence his style. And I feel like it almost hindered him to an extent.
Yeah.
But I think that's a huge thing though, is being able to enjoy your own music. Because in all honesty, I think one of the coolest things, and I think even like from a production standpoint, one of the coolest things to me was like not even once just like someone got on the track lyrically, but I think even like the final product, like once it's engineered and everything, like you don't even recognize it to an extent. You're just like, yo, wait, I did this?
Yeah.
And it just sounds that much better. Like I'm sure when you listen to Gold Slugs, you're like, yo, like I remember like growing up and listening to hip hop that felt like it was this kind of quality, and like that's now me.
Yeah, literally, like I wanted to capture like this the Outkast feel in general, which is why like it's a very groovy and bouncy song, like specifically like the Stank on Ya and like fucking Aquemini type shit. Like literally, I feel like as far as like lyrically and like technicality wise, like as far as like even like on Gold Slugs, I literally say, "And my alien got my cadences from Decatur." Like literally, like I reference Outkast so much in my music, like it's fucking like it's undeniable.
Yeah,
like Andre and Big Boy, like and also I hate when people only talk about Andre. I love Andre to death. Andre is a fucking icon, but people do not give Big Boy his due diligence.
Yeah, and there's a reason it's a duo. It's not a duo because it wasn't Andre 3000 featuring Big Boy. Like people always forget, even with what was the last album they released? What's the name of it one more time? But the one that split between them.
About Love Below and Speaker Box?
Yeah, the Love Below and Speaker Box, exactly. Like I think that was so underrated because a lot of people are like, oh, but the Love Below is what made the whole album. No, Speaker Box had some real deal like
I Like
hip-hop
The Way You
bangers.
Move is probably one of the biggest Outkast songs ever, and that
absolutely,
was on Speaker Box.
Absolutely. Again, don't get me wrong, like the Love Below had Hey Ya, but like yo,
of course,
The Way You Move is still just as big as Hey Ya. It's still played on the radio just as much as Hey Ya is.
And like I said, The Way You Move literally is probably one of my favorite Outkast songs. Like, and it's just like people don't give Big Boy that respect, which I don't understand. Like, people that really know about hip hop and like actually enjoy Outkast, they understand how much of an impact Big Boy has.
Yeah, there's two sides to that spectrum every single time.
But it's just like literally like even on even on like Stank on Ya, like literally like some of the verses that Big Boy had on that album, I'm just like, I don't know why people don't appreciate this. Like it's crazy. Like even on like Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music, like their first album, like I feel like they were still trying to like find like
I think Andre was still developing a lot during that time.
He was still trying to navigate. I feel like Big Boy was already like, he was just Big Boy. You feel me? Like Big Boy is the grimy, like the grimy.
He just knew he wanted to spit that shit.
Exactly. And I feel like, they were still trying to navigate through sonically what they wanted to do. And I feel like when AT Aliens dropped, that's just like, okay, this is the start of a whole new,
and they found thing.
It. And then Aquemini dropped, and it's just like, oh shit, like these niggas are serious. Like,
yep.
Yeah, and especially like when Andre, like, at the awards, he's like, the South got something to say, which is true. Like, there's a lot of creativity and a lot of just emotion and expression that the South can bring you musically. And I feel like a lot of people wasn't really appreciating that. And, you know, him saying that set the tone for the 90s, from I said, from 94 all the way till now, as far as like Southern music concerned, you know, also Goody Mob, and, you know, even like Killer Mike.
Yep.
Like, but I can't talk about Killer Mike without Run the Jewels. Run the Jewels, I fucking love Run the Jewels. Like,
Run the Jewels is fire. I seen them live twice too.
Listen, Run the Jewels, I can't talk about Killer Mike without Run the Jewels, because LP is fucking ill as a rap. Like, he's probably one of the most technical fucking rappers I've heard in my fucking life. And literally, like, it's to the point where like people will hear him and be like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? But it's just like, once you understand what he's saying, he's like, oh shit. Like, he's one of those oh shit rappers.
Yeah.
Like, and it's crazy. Like, the amount of appreciation I have for a person like LP that literally does all the shit that he does. Because I even heard, like, even when he was fucking working with Company Flow, like literally his old group of Company Flow. A lot of people don't know about Company Flow. I'm talking about Company Flow, and people are like, what the fuck? Who's that? You feel me? Like, and it's just like, that just goes to show, like, I have a different appreciation for LP.
I feel like once you appreciate a certain artist, you just submerge yourself in them. I really fuck with that, man, that you really just try to make sure you break it down. You dissect is what it really sounds like.
Yeah.
And I love that about you, man, because it's obviously showing in your music. You're killing shit. We're excited for you 2021.
Definitely.
I know you got a lot of moves on the way. Gold Slugs is definitely just a sneak peek at what you're capable of and what your potential is set to be.
And I pick up my fucking Gold Slugs tomorrow too.
That boy gonna pick up his Gold Slugs tomorrow. It's a day to celebrate, man. But
sure.
Keep killing shit, bro. Tell the people where they can find you at real quick.
On Twitter, it's SSTJ. SoundCloud, SSTJ. You know, Instagram is probably the only place where it's different. It's SouthSide TeeJay, because SS stands for Southside. You know, for y'all that don't know. But SouthSide TeeJay, SSTJ, whatever you want to call me. You search up either one of those things, 9 times out of 10, you're going to find me. So, yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, y'all heard it here first, man. Y'all go follow Southside TeeJay at SSTJ, at Southside TeeJay on Instagram. We're going to close it out in just a moment with this last song, Demise, featuring Kiss the Crook. It's a perfect closer on the album. It's going to be a perfect closer right now. But y'all tune on in. We're going to actually be back Saturday. We have King Vest pulling up on Saturday. And then next Thursday, we'll be back with... I got a crazy schedule. I got to figure this thing out. I got to post this shit in front of me.
You got so many people lined up. And like I said, I really fuck with your work ethic, man. Because literally...
It's been wild, dog.
Bro, like literally even since last year, like I literally saw... I tried to watch as many as possible, but like I still get caught up on my own shit.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. Like I've seen the growth. Like it's really, really great. Like,
I appreciate it.
And I hope that
bro.
you can just continue to do what you do, man. And I hope I could come back here for a second time, man.
Oh, hell yeah, bro. You definitely going to come back, bro. Anybody that's been here one time is definitely guaranteed to come back at least a second time. But, yo, I appreciate all the love, man. And also, if I don't know if people got to notice this, but I got custom Emano Talk headphones.
Oh, no, I peep.
Yeah, courtesy of my boy Rob and my whole team. For those who don't know about me like that, I have this job as a customer service trainer, and tomorrow's actually my last day with the company. And my team made this for me as a going away gift, so I love y'all, man. Tomorrow's like a big, like, bittersweet day for me, but it's on to a new chapter, on to bigger and better things. We're talking about nothing but growth out here, and it's nothing but love all the time. Sure. But yeah, y'all tune on in Saturday. We'll be back at 4 p.m. With King Vest. He's real dope. Y'all are gonna fuck with him. And then we'll be back next Thursday for the next episode of season 4. Y'all go follow my boy SSTJ, Southside TeeJay. And yeah, y'all enjoy this last track, Demise. Go follow on social media at Emano Talk, and make sure that you also go subscribe on YouTube, comment, like, all that bullshit. Go subscribe on podcast platforms, all that too.
Go show love, man.
Yep, y'all go show love, because what you love gets brought right back around to you. But anyway,
and that's facts.
Yep, y'all tune on in right now. This is Demise by SSTJ featuring Kiss the Crook. Y'all enjoy. Take it easy. Good night.
Switchblade getting blood. I ain't on that leg, shook
Clover. Yo, my penmanship a lethal weapon. I'm the fucking topic. I'm the one you never cease to mention. Ease the pressure, you ain't got no option but to peep the method. So decrepit, y'all, I'm supposed to threaten all my inner demons about to leak their presence. Rock out like I'm savage. Murder's a habit, I happen to practice.